I'm Sheila.
Hi, I'm Maieka.
I'm Chase.
And welcome to Kids in the Kitchen. Well, today we have a very exciting guest with us today, Chase. Chase, why don't you tell us how old you are?
I just turned 9 on September 12th.
Okay, great.
Happy birthday to you.
And what school do you go to?
I used to go to school at Robert Goddard. Now I go to school at Sligo. I'm going to school at Sligo Creek.
Okay, and I understand both of those schools are French immersion.
Yes.
So, parlez-vous français?
Oui.
Okay. And also, Chase, what's your favorite sport?
Baseball.
Baseball. Okay. Well, that sounds great. Well, Maieka, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're going to do today?
Okay. Right. Today we're going to focus on lunch. We'd like to encourage everyone to bring their children into the kitchen and to teach them how to cook lunch or prepare lunch, depending upon what you'd like to eat. And the reason why we want to do this is two things. One, in this economy, can help you save money. Two, you can teach your family. As a family unit, you can learn how to eat nutritious meals that taste really good. So we have a number of different options for you today. We're going to go ahead and get started with a slightly non-traditional lunch of soup. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're going to make kind of a combination minestrone vegetable soup. And it's an alphabet soup. So we already have a pot of water boiling, and what we're going to do first is go ahead and put these alphabet pastas in the water. Okay? So we have, it's just regular water, hot water, with a little bit of salt already in there. I'm going to put some olive oil, and then Sheila and Chase are going to start sauteing our vegetables. And I think what we want to do is have Chase talk about which vegetables we're sauteing as we put them in.
Okay, and Chase, what's really important when you're working over the stove is you back up just a little bit. So when you're working with an adult, you want to make sure to have, your child in close range to you so that they do not accidentally get burnt. Okay, Chase, so first thing we did, just so before we start talking about the food, is we put some olive oil in our pot to get it hot. So what vegetables are we working with, Chase?
Well, we got onion,
Right.
red pepper,
Okay.
zucchini,
Yep.
and squash,
Yes.
and garlic right over here.
Garlic,
Very
exactly.
good, very good. So, Maieka, we're going to put all of it in the pot?
I'm going to put all of it in the pot.
Okay, so.
Now we preheated this pot so it'll be hot. We're sauteing the vegetables, and we tend to go over this on our shows, but sauteing is a little bit different than deep frying. When you saute, you have a hot pan, a little bit of oil or a little bit of butter, and then you're sauteing your vegetables in that. Whereas deep fry, you have maybe 2 inches of oil in your pan.
Okay, now Chase, I'm going to show you how to saute. What we do is we take our spatula and we just move it around a little bit. Now you can try. It's very important to keep your arm up, not touch the side of the pan.
Okay.
You're doing a very good job. So when you're sauteing, you're basically moving your vegetables around so that the fat gets all over the vegetables. The fat we're using today is olive oil, and we're going to soften them and release the juices in them.
Right.
So you're doing a good job, Chase. Let me take over for a little bit.
Now, one of the reasons why we're using a spatula is because it's a little bit easier for a child to use the spatula and mix. Sometimes spoons are a little bit awkward in terms of their balance. So this gives him a little bit more control as he's sauteing the vegetables, and he can move them around a little bit easier. Not to mention the fact that our stock pot is a little bit hot. And this is a small stock pot, if you want to call it a stock pot.
Okay. So the thing that we're going to do is keep moving it around. Chase, you're doing a good job. You want to let all sides of your vegetables get heated thoroughly. So you're doing a great job. I like the way you're keeping your arm up to make sure that you don't touch the side of the pot. And you're standing a great distance from the flame. All of these are very important safety measures.
Now, Chase, do you make your own lunch at home?
Well, most of the time I just have peanut butter apples or peanut butter jelly. And I actually get my sister to help me cook ramen noodles. Me and her like to mix it with chicken noodle soup.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay, so that sounds good. What we're going to do is move on a little bit more. Sheila's going to move the vegetables around, and I'm going to pour in, we're going to use broth. Today we're going to use a vegetable broth, and the reason is that we wanted to provide people an option of a vegetarian meal. So we're going to add our vegetable broth, and then we're going to also add diced tomatoes. So this is about 32 ounces of vegetable broth.
Just throw some diced tomatoes in?
Yep.
Just
Stand back.
A little bit messy. Nothing like being in the kitchen. It's an active sport. It's an active sport. You okay, Chase? So you see how our soup is starting to come together. You've got some liquid now with your vegetables. You got your tomatoes. Can you start to smell it? A little bit? Yeah, it's kind of fragrant.
Okay. And the other thing we're going to use to flavor two things. We have, you know what this is? Did we go over this? This is pesto. So pesto is Parmesan cheese, basil, pine nuts. We're going to use this as a way to season our soup today. And I just put a couple of teaspoons in. I just kind of, quote unquote, eyeball it. And we're going to also throw in a bay leaf. Now, this soup is going to also have some beans in there. I'm going to put 2 bay leaves. We're going to strain some chickpeas and kidney beans.
Okay, so Chase, what I want you to do is pour the kidney beans in our strainer. Just pour them all, just dump them in. Okay, because we're going to move quickly. And we're going to, can we go ahead and mix the chickpeas with it?
Go ahead.
Okay, great. So you're going to put the chickpeas in there too. Just dump them in. And now how we rinse them off when you have canned beans, you always want to put some cold water. So just shake it, Chase. Go ahead and grab the strainer and shake it. Just rinse the stuff off. Okay, very good. Now what we're going to do is
we're actually going to just leave them. Why don't you put them in that the glass bowl right next to you?
Okay.
Because we want our soup now to cook, and the soup is going to cook for about 15 minutes. Our pasta has about maybe 5 more minutes for it to go. So we're going to continue letting our soup cook, and I'm going to throw a chickpea in my mouth real quick, and we're getting ready to go to break. Be back with more Kids in the Kitchen.